What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin update. I am Craig, and this is the Crypto Savvy channel. We're going to be checking out the charts, see what's going on. We'll take a look at the DXY, Dow Jones, and then take a look at where Bitcoin's at and why everyone is getting extremely bullish. We're going to take a look at what we really need to be watching. So definitely stick around for the whole video. Make sure you leave a comment down below, smash that thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already for daily updates. Let's get into it. So this is the Dow Jones. Remember when I showed you guys a few weeks ago, every time we make a gap like this, it's near a top before it makes a new low. We made another gap up here before making a new low. We made another gap up here. I believe we will be making a new low. If we do break this high here on the Dow, that is going to be around the 3584 range. If it's able to break that, maybe we will come up to this high volume node at about 35.8. If that breaks, then possibly up to the top of this, and that would be very bullish for Bitcoin, obviously. But I don't think, in my opinion, which my opinion doesn't move markets, but in my opinion, I still don't believe we're gonna see a new high here anytime soon. DXY, we hit our first target almost on the dot. If you guys have been watching, we made that towards the middle of last month. We put this target up here, talked about if we broke here. Now, what we need to talk about is, we talked about it in yesterday's video. If we do get a real rejection here, we could come all the way back down to test the top of this channel again. If we do, that will be bullish for Bitcoin. If we do not, which I am still leaning bullish that we're going to pop up above this here. So if we do pop above this 101.11 and make it support, obviously our next target is 102. I think Bitcoin will have another dump all the way into this area. So be careful, be cautious. I'm going to show you some other things to look at. Right now, I want to show you a fellow YouTuber that always seems to look at things. I've explained before how the markets work. Usually markets are based on emotions. The good traders, the smart money in the markets, they don't have the emotion. They feed off of the emotion, like the super bullish emotion. So let's take a look at, he posted this today. Somebody sent it to me. I had to check it out. But he showed me like BlackRock was bearish during the bull market. Everybody was bearish, right? Goldman Sachs, all that. And now he's like, oh my God, everybody's bullish now. Well, the most bullish news usually comes in the bear market. Now these guys, while they're dumping on you, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, you can check all the past. 2018, these guys were super bullish, telling you that it was going to change the world, do all these great things with Bitcoin, and it just continued to fall, just like I believe is happening now. Everything points the same direction, guys. I've showed you guys the Elliott wave count. Everybody thinks it's a 4-year cycle. If it was, well, then the top was November 2021, just like it always is. And if my theory is correct, this was just one big bull market. The stock market was in a bull market ever since Bitcoin was started in 2009. So it has seen nothing but a bull market, and it still had 90% corrections. Why? If the traditional markets go down, like I believe they will, I believe we are in an everything bubble. If that happens, why would Bitcoin be able to hold up? It wouldn't. Now let's look at the first wave of the Elliott wave. You can see this indicator here. This is the supply and demand. It's at the top of wave 1, right? Then we had another supply and demand, top of wave 3, another supply and demand, top of wave 5. We've talked about this on the RSI, a cross of this line around 53.24. Every time it crosses that line, it capitulates. I'm still in the capitulation camp. I think we're going to capitulate, guys. So looking at the weekly chart, we had looked at this hidden bearish divergence where we had lower highs in the price, higher highs in the RSI, and you can see what happened. Now, as of right now, we are getting rejected at the 8 EMA on the weekly, which is 41.8. If we get a weekly open and close above that, we'll be back above this trend line, which as of right now, this trend line is rejecting us. So this week's close, again, will be important. We're still flirting with this trend line here. As I've talked about, any break of this 35,000 area, the next line of support is around the lower to mid 20 range. We've talked about this many times. You can watch yesterday's video. I go into a little more detail on it. As you guys know, this is my Amazon comparison chart. If you wanted to Elliott wave count, there were 5 waves on the wave way down here. And I do believe this is going to be the same thing. Pretty damn close. It's playing out almost identical. Now over here, after it had this pump right here, came back down and we came up about 50% of that. So that would lead this to go to possibly the highest around 44,000. Let's take a look at a couple more things. I want to remind you guys, we are going to be doing a trading competition. You can sign up with my Bybit link down below. I will let you guys, I'll notify you guys when it starts. I'm going on vacation in a couple days, so I'll be gone for about a week. I will be posting updated videos. I got to get a laptop set up. But make sure you use my link down below, sign up. If you haven't tried Prime, definitely check it out. It doesn't cost you anything to join the free contest in the contest section here. You can use my promo code Savvy50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. And Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. I also have a tutorial on my YouTube page. You can check it out. So let's get into it. This is our daily chart, right? So back here, we counted these 5 waves. We actually called the top as a second wave. And then when this topped, we called the 3rd wave and the 4th wave almost to the T. I did think 5 would go a little bit further, but the only rule of 5 is it has to break 4, which it did. And then we were looking for ABC correction, which we got. The reason I've still remained bearish since all the way up here. And you can check my video on December 2nd, where I first came out with the Amazon to Bitcoin theory. And so far that seems to be playing out beautifully. So everyone was looking at this as a symmetrical triangle, broke out of it, came back down, broke in. Now, if we come back up to test that, that also lines up with that 44,000 area. So that is a possibility that we get up to that range before getting rejected. Now, before everybody wants to get super bullish or super bearish every single day. Well, right now, while we're below the 44.3 or 44.4, there is no reason to be long-term bullish at all, any way, shape, or form. Now, if we get up above this and get support, make it support, we could come back up to retest this area around 49.6, 49.7, somewhere in there. Now, we'll look at it in the 4-hour, the time to get bullish. So if that was to break up out of this channel, we could be looking at the 61.7 range, right? But until we're breaking above here, that's not even anything to think about. And it's not like it's going to go up in one candle and you're going to miss out. A lot of people think every little pump is so huge. Now, if you zoom out here, look at this. This is the daily chart. Here is the daily candle right now that everybody's saying this huge pump is happening. Look at it. That's not a huge pump, guys. Calm down, relax. You're not going to miss anything. There's nothing really huge and spectacular going to happen until we break out of this. And again, we'll look at it in the 4-hour. But let's take a measured move to the downside. A measured move of the channel here gets us to about the mid to lower $20,000 range. Now, we could also look at it as this whole thing right here being a bear flag. I like to use the break of the trend right here as the top of the flag. And if we put that down there, that gets us to about the 6,500. As you guys know, if the Amazon played out identically, it would be around the $3,500 range. But nevertheless, we've had this lower to mid $20,000 section or target here ever since way up here before this broke. I had told you if the 51.8 broke, that's where we would be headed. Still look like we're headed that way. That is the measured move of the break of this rising, broadening wedge. Yeah, so let's take a look at the 4-hour real quick, and then I will get out of here. But as I've been looking at this as a bear flag, A, B, C, D, E. People were saying that this isn't right. This would be A. That's incorrect because this is in a downtrend. The first bounce to the upside would be A, and then B, and then C, and then D, and then E. And then down from there. Now, we zoom in. So this right here, this red area right here with the center of that being about 49.3. If that was to break and become support, then you could get bullish. Then that would be a reason to get bullish and wait for it to come up, come down for a retest, and then you could Again, be bullish if that's when you want to be bullish, but nothing big is happening right now, guys. This is nothing. Nothing's happening. It's not a huge deal. They will try to make it out to be and make it sound like everything's going to happen today, but that's not how it happens. So to get bearish, really bearish, need to break this 37,000 range. Now, depending on how long it takes to get here, if it was in a couple weeks, it would be about 37.5, 38 maybe. But either way, any break of this bottom trend line, and I'm using the wicks, guys, so any break of it is pretty much for certain gonna break down to this lower to mid $20,000 range, which we've had on this channel since way back in, it was up in this range, November of 21. So anyways, it's still looking like it. Remember, everyone was calling me Savvy's overly bullish, blah, blah, blah. Them same, or overly bearish, I'm sorry. Them same people are now bearish after they were calling me way too bearish up in these areas. So just be careful who you watch, pay attention to out there, guys. There's a lot of people that literally have zero market experience. They just have a YouTube channel and will say whatever they have to say to get your views. All right, so anyways, so if we break this area, we know where we're headed, lower to mid 20s. Now, we talked about that being a possible bottom, right? May bottom out, may get a big bounce, continue up to the moon, go to $100,000, blah, blah, blah. But the chances are we'll bounce around, may get some, bounce around. This could be like the $6,000 range back in 2018. If you weren't here, go check it out. But anyways, these are my targets, guys. Bearish target is the break at 37,000, looking for lower to mid 20s. I would expect to at least get a bounce there. So it might be a good place to put in a little long and maybe just trail it with stops in case it does go to a new all-time high. But nevertheless, when this area breaks, I do believe we're headed down to $6,500 to $7,000 range, most likely, possibly much, much lower. And if I showed you where I used that break of the trend right there to be the top of the flag. So what happens if I take and make the top of the flag the actual high and put it down to the actual low? What would that target get us? By 800 bucks. I don't see us going that low. I honestly don't see us going below 1200, but we'll see what happens. And I know 1200 sounds crazy, but that was the top back in 2014 or whatever, wave one. So if this is wave two in a big bear market, it can't go past wave one, which would be down here at approximately 1300 bucks, somewhere in there. That doesn't mean it has to come down and touch. That means it just can't go around below that, right? So a lot of people are talking about Bitcoin's never broke its last high. Well, this is one big cycle, if you ask me. This is not 4 cycles. This is one big cycle, 5 waves. You had a 1 wave up, 2 wave down, 3 wave up, 4 wave down, 5 wave up. That is all one big one. I think we are on wave 2. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Smash that thumbs up. Don't forget to check out Prime XBT. You can also trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, pre-markets, everything all from one exchange, guys. They don't trade against you. Definitely check them out. And I am out of here. Have a great day.